speaking with Robert Bean. Robert, can you talk a little bit about your involvement here with the event?
Yeah, Lisa asked me to speak a little bit about my specialty, which is in indoor climate engineering and environmental ergonomics, and how that relates to sustainability. And so I was more than pleased to take her up on the offer, and I'm glad to be here. It's going to be a great event.
And how does that relate to sustainability?
Well, you know, a lot of our energy that we use in the world goes into keeping people comfortable, and the more that we can appreciate the value of energy as it's used for conditioning people and spaces, and really understand how that fits into the use, not only locally but also on a global scale, to make sure that when we do burn fossil fuels, for example, that we get the maximum amount of work out of it. And right now, when you look at architecture and buildings and building science, we use a lot of high quality energy for basically what we call a low quality use. And so one of my messages here at the conference is to really sort of illustrate the appropriate use of energy for architecture, making sure that we sort of match loads with temperatures. And when we do that, we really meet the definition of sustainability.
And so what are you most excited about for this event?
Really just to see not only you've got a great group of speakers, you got really passionate leadership within the conference. So just bringing those minds together, and my experience doing conferences across the country is that when minds come together like this, the change really occurs. And I think in this particular case in Calgary, which is a really vibrant economy and a lot of thought leadership, particularly from our government, but also through academia and also the industry itself, that when these people come together, that we'll see change, and that's, I guess, what I'm really excited about.
And who are the kinds of people who would want to attend an event like this?
Anybody from the building community, or those that are making decisions related to architecture and buildings, that want to sort of get an idea of how do we develop buildings from a sustainable point of view. So that would be probably our key target audience. So builders, architects, engineers, and then maybe even those, even consumers that are really interested in, that may be building a house or planning to build a house, that want to sort of take that step into the world of building programs such as LEED, or even in Canada our own programs, R2000, Equilibrium, and maybe they're not quite sure what these programs mean. Those people would also really benefit from the program.
And what would attendees take away from this event? What would they, after the event, what would they go home with?
I think they sort of would go home and have a greater understanding about what kind of energy it takes to actually build a house, and also to maintain a house or a building, for example. I mean, in Calgary we have a lot of nice new buildings, and what does it take to keep these buildings up and running? What does it take to condition the occupants? And certainly, I mean, there's two facets. There's sort of the commercial side of architecture, and then there's sort of the residential side. We certainly know within the commercial sector that things like productivity or learning abilities is a function of the built environment. So indoor environmental ergonomics is really key, and of course, to have great indoor environments takes energy. And so if they can take away from this, understanding that, look, to have productive people in offices, to have students that can learn in really good environments, we can solve these problems that we have with indoor environmental ergonomics by architecture, but also with a combination of mechanical systems and our choice of interior finishes. So it's a sort of an integrated message, and that's what they'd get out of it.